everybody, hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be taking a look, or doing the final of Cthulhu Death May Die. Now, you're not going to see the main villains because I'm going to show you those. I'm going to show you everything laid out on the table before we start with our nemesis. So I wanted to get this taped and get this done, but I'm going to be off for the next 3 weeks, so you're going to see a lot of videos on BGG as far as some live painting and stuff like that, as we're going to be doing Nemesis and a couple other things that I think you're really going to enjoy. So without further ado, let's start the tape and take a look at our final Cthulhu Death May Die. Right here, I'm just showing some of the characters that we're doing, and I'm not doing anything so extensive here. I think you guys can figure out the characters from the box, so I didn't do an extensive video on everything, but I wanted to show some of just how easy it is to do these guys. You just go over everything. I primed all of them white, just adding in pants and stuff like that, and just as you can see, I just used that striker green. It really worked well, especially when you put a dark wash over that. It really comes out really well. Again, just showing you the reds, some of the contrast that I used for her outfit was just really easy, and I really liked how it went over the white and how it really made the gypsy pop here. So there were certain little areas that somebody had mentioned, hey, where do you use the contrast? Now you can see I got a little that went over a bit, but I touch everything up with pink, and right there, you know, just using different contrast paints. You can use them on individual figures. It doesn't have to be widespread. Now here, I'm going to take the contrast Agros Dunes, and this really helps bring out what I was looking to bring out here. As you can see, I decided to check it out and see how it would work. And of course, if I bring the creature down a little bit, you'll see here how this all just kind of works in here and works perfectly. This contrast over that gray sear really matches up with the picture, and that's what I was really going for, is trying to match the art, and the art is just fantastic on this. And this is such a great game. I can't suggest this game enough. Number one, I think it's fantastic for the beginning painter, where you can take some of these contrast paints, which are easy to work with, and helps get this very, you know, get the depth that you want. You want to create depth. I always talk about doing that, and just using this, as you can see, as this goes on, how it goes into the recesses without additional work, and it's going to cut your time and frustration level down a bit, especially for somebody that's a beginner. I really highly suggest this. As you can see, it's not taking me long. It's just I'm taking a long time. There you go. Doesn't take long, but takes me a long time. Figure it out. I'm just taking my time and trying to make sure that we really get a good view of this, and just taking that and just moving it along, taking that brush and having complete control and moving it along really plays a very big part in this. And I think that's where it really helps you get to where you need to be. And you can see how quickly this just went on. I mean, in the time that I talked, 3 minutes and 34 seconds, boom, we've got this pretty well. Less than that, 3 minutes, boom, it took me to get this coverage on this guy and just move it around, and you pretty almost have this guy done. That's all you really need for him because of how he's built. You dry brush it out a little bit, and boom, you know, you're off and running playing. And painting your figures, like I said, almost every single video really helps the immersion into the game. Now, yeah, I took a little off there. And if you have a little extra in there, don't be afraid to pull it off. Move it around. As you can see, I'm moving my brush and just putting it onto the other figure, which just works out perfectly. And moving it around, making sure I get all the spaces, making sure I get it in there. It doesn't pool up. Okay? Don't be afraid to, just take the excess and work it in. just like I'm doing here. Piece of cake. Getting it in there, making it work. End of story. That's all you need to do, folks. It's as easy as that. And just moving around. All right, next thing that we're going to do, I'm using a gray contrast here because of the way the figure is. I really wanted to build outwards with this, and you're going to see how I'm going to do this. And I'm going to use that gray. And you can see I tested it a little bit already, so kind of cheated there. But, you know, that's what you want to do, is you want to experiment a little bit and just say, oh, is this going to work? And I went over this wonderful creature, which it just, using this really, really works and really sits up beautifully in there. I mean, look how that just goes in there, gets in his wings the way we want to get it in there. We're just moving it around, nice and easy. Just really, really, really simple thing. These again, it comes to the contrast, and you know, you don't have to use the contrast. You can, you know, you can put your primer and then paint the thing and then build out. You can darken things up with a wash and then build out with a dry brush, which will work just as well. And you know, it depends on what you're looking to do. If you want to get it done quickly and get this game to the table and start playing this, because that's what I wanted to do. And you know, just really kind of get that in there and work that in there. And as you can see, I'm moving that contrast. Don't let it pool up. You don't need a ton of it. If it pools up, just take it off on your brush, move it to another area, and move it around until you get the desired effect in the recesses that you're looking for. And that's where you're going to get the home run here. And that's where it's going to just sit up perfectly and do exactly what you want it to do. Perfectly sitting in there. There you go. Right over. Yeah, just getting. And we're getting great coverage here. You know, there's only a couple of these guys. So, you know, just getting this initial coat on there really is going to help us work it around. You see, I'm just using a bigger brush. I'm not worried about, you know, going over everything, even though, you know, we want to go over other things with other colors, because we'll be able to once this dries. And it dries pretty quickly. I usually give it a good 10-15 minutes. If it's on there pretty thick, sometimes you want to give it 30 minutes to dry before you go to your next stage there. And as you can see, we're just working in there. We got to get the inset of those wings there. Hopefully I catch that, but I probably don't. But I eventually did. And again, yeah, and then I look. But I'm showing you more of the outside. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is take some Wild Rider Red. Now this is Shoggoth, I think, and all I did was just prime him black, because on the box he's very, that's what he is. That's the color. So I went by the art and I said, okay, this will work. And now he's got like a million eyes. So I really wanted to get that Wild Rider Red to really stand out against that black. And that was really important for me to get that and get it to pop in there. And, you know, the real thing is just trying to find every single one of those eyes and make sure you get them, because the red really helps this model stand out. One thing that I saw was the mouth, they kind of left kind of black, but I decided to take a different turn that you'll see in a few minutes here. And I decided to just, I wanted to enhance how this model looked. So again, we're just hitting all these eyes, trying to find them all. And boy, he's got a lot of them. Come on, there you go. Keep it in camera, kid. Now I take the Changeling Pink, which is a dry paint. And as you can see, I went in there a little bit. And I worked it in there. And it just kind of went, yeah, I like this. I like how that kind of brings a little bit of life to that disgusting mouth of his. And he does have this disgusting mouth. Taking a big brush, I'm not worried about hitting the edges or anything like that, because I can clean that up. What I really want to do is take this dry paint and kind of highlight over. And you see, I'm just really rubbing it in there, trying to give this effect of this disgusting, mouth. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. Go a little easier around the edges, as you can see. Just working it in there pretty good as a starting coat there, and going, yeah, see that, you don't want to run into that. Then I'm going to take this voluptuous pink contrast, and now watch what I do here. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go over that entire area I just did. The nice thing about it is, because I put that pink underneath, that other pink that I put underneath it, the lighter pink, is going to stand through a little bit. You don't see it right now, but don't worry, it'll come there. And I'm going to get it in there, and I wanted to bring that mouth, I wanted it dark and sinister. Then I'm going to come back to the changeling pink, even though it's blurred there. Once it dried, now look what I did. I went right back over it. Okay? So now I'm just very, very lightly hitting those high spots and having that big boy just sit up there and getting the desired effect I wanted. Now you see how that sits up on those like suckers he's got in his mouth? Don't expect me to understand what these creatures are. Okay, all I know is they're cool, and it just makes this glorious, and that's all I can say about that. Yeah, just perfect. I didn't take, matter of fact, I lost the tape, but I actually went over. I did take the voluptuous pink and go over those tentacles, and then I came over with the dry changeling pink. Now, going back to the Shoggoth, I actually took a little bit of administration gray, and I went over the entire thing. You'll see that next week when we do Nemesis. In the beginning, I'm going to show you all the figures all lined up for Cthulhu, Death May Die, and we're going to put a bow on this. We've done a lot of videos. I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing it. Now, you see how that pink just stands on those tentacles a bit? That's all I wanted to do. That's all I want to sit up there. Just getting in there. And you see how that just... And when you open up your box and you look at the inset, you'll see what I was going for and how I wanted, what I wanted to create there, and how I wanted to create this. And I'm going to go over this a couple times. I'm really going to go over this a bit and really make sure that we hit this home. And you're going to see that this really just comes out exactly the way we want. So what we are going to do is we're going to head up top, get my final thoughts on this taped edition, and we'll see you guys up top. Well, there you have it. We're all set. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, and just a safe one at that, and enjoy each other, care for each other, and be good to each other. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob saying we'll see you soon.